Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Elmer, or YaTuChavez. I hope you guys are doing well, and this is going to be part 3 and part 4 of the Zombie Chronicles timeline. Now, the reason I'm doing part 3 and 4 together is because part 3 is real short, part 4 is real short, so this is going to be talking about AGARTHA and the different fractures in the storyline slash timeline. So, it's going to be a bit of a shorter video rather than 15 to 30 minutes for the other two, but still, like I said before, sit back, relax, grab a snack, put this in the background so you guys can learn some shit, and enjoy the part 3s and 4s of the Zombies Chronicle timeline. AGARTHA. The Summoning Key. The Keepers craft the Summoning Key, a device that allows them to manipulate the Aether. Holding the power over reality itself, they use it to create AGARTHA, the first transference device. The Keepers master the ability to travel between dimensions. The Dark Aether. Some Keepers begin to experiment with the Dark Aether, which corrupts and corrodes their souls. Among them is the Shadow Man. The Aether Pyramid. The corrupted Keepers create the Aether Pyramid, a device capable of absolute power. A schism forms between them and those Keepers, untainted by the Dark Aether. The War of AGARTHA begins. War breaks out between the corrupted and uncorrupted Keepers. The War of AGARTHA ends. Facing defeat, the corrupted Keepers hide the Aether Pyramid on a moon within one of the newly discovered dimensions. After banishing the corrupted Keeper to the Dark Aether beneath creation, the remaining Keepers take on the mantle of Guardians. Trapped in the Dark Aether, the corrupted Keepers contort and evolve over eons, ultimately becoming the Apothecans. They desire, above all else, to return to AGARTHA. The First Arrival. With Dr. Monty's help, the Maxis arrives at the house at AGARTHA. Despite the absence of his soul, Monty recreates his physical manifestation of his Dimension 63 form. The arrival of Samantha. Monty brings Samantha to the house, reuniting her with the Dimension 63 incarnation of her father, Samantha's corruption. Knowing that Samantha is corrupted by the Dark Aether, Monty takes her away from Maxis and the house. The isolation of Maxis. Alone in the house and missing his daughter, Maxis wonders if Richtofen will have the courage to fulfill the vow he made all those years ago. The discovery of the empty earth. Having observed Monty for some time, Maxis uses the teleporter in the basement of the house to study and explore other dimensions. Among them is the empty earth, where an alternate Maxis has constructed Zero Base, a facility that houses artifacts and replicas collected from a multitude of different timelines. However, his attempts to manipulate the empty earth create a reality too fragile to be sustained. The restoration of innocence. Monty returns Samantha to Maxis, her innocence restored. Monty's plan. Monty explains to Maxis that the paradox wrought by multiverse must be resolved. A new reality can be created, one free of the Apothecans, but only if they enlist the aid of souls who had lived through and survived the fracturing. The Chronorium secured. Among the artifacts that Maxis collected in Zero Base is an ancient book known as a Chronorium, a complete chronicle of the entire history and future of all reality. Protected by various countermeasures, the facility can only be accessed by those possessing a soul. Richtofen's journey begins. Maxis tells Richtofen the plan is to secure the Chronorium and locate the Summoning Key. Hearing the echoes of his other selves, Richtofen discovers his connection with Samuel Stuhlinger and decides to use Victus to acquire the Chronorium. The manipulation of Stuhlinger. Having overseen the construction of a laboratory beneath Alcatraz, Richtofen returns to the house where he begins to communicate with Stuhlinger. Together, they persuade Victus to travel to a variety of locations in order to recover the Chronorium. The Chronorium retrieved. Upon arriving at Zero Base, Victus provides blood samples that allow them to access the empty earth and recover the Chronorium. The blood acquired. Richtofen collects the Victus blood samples from undead Richtofen. The arrival of Edward. Richtofen collects Eddie's innocent soul from Dimension 2210, and Monty gives him a physical form in the house. Samantha meets Edward. Eddie and Samantha meet each other for the first time. Samantha writes in her diary that Edward doesn't like to share toys. The happiness of children. Monty brings Eddie and Samantha more toys. The fragility of memories. Maxis notes that the teleportation and travel between dimensions could have profound impact on the mind. He fears that the confusion caused by the collision of memories past, present, and future could lead to the collapse of reality itself. The arrival of the souls. The souls arrive. Maxis tells Samantha and Eddie to put the toys away and to make sure the windows are locked before they come down to the basement. The children reborn. As each soul arrives, Monty transforms them into their younger selves and returns their innocence. The arrival of Primus. Now soulless, Primus brings the summoning key to the house, where Maxis unwittingly releases the Shadow Man, who in turn frees the Apothecans from the dark aether. Unaware that they will be wiped from existence once they have served their purpose, Primus battles alongside Monty in his final battle against the Shadow Man. Revelations. With the Shadow Man and the Apothecans vanquished, Monty discovers that Primus has consumed blood of souls from dimensions that no longer exist. The paradox must be resolved. Fractures. The Septio Fracture. October 13th, 1945. The Giant. As a zombie outbreak occurs, Primus, Dempsey, Takio, and Nikolai confront Ultimus Richthofen moments after he teleports Maxis and Samantha. As they try to reason with him to wake their counterparts, Primus Richthofen arrives through the teleporter and kills his Ultimus self, triggering fractures across space-time. As Primus fights the undead, Group 935 secure the Dempsey subject and transport him to Der Riesendrock. Primus pursues them and a German giant. October 29th, 1945. Dr. Groff takes control of Group 935 in Richthofen's absence, not realizing his fate at the hands of Primus. October 31st, 1945. In the wake of haunted dreams and rumors that Samantha may be roaming Griffin Station, Groff worries the MPD may be corrupting the facility. November 5th, 1945. Der Riesendrock. Recovering the Dempsey subject from the rocket bound for the moon, Richthofen secures his soul and reveals to Primus his intentions to set things right. Primus destroys Griffin Station and the moon. Prototone Fracture. April 12, 1942. Overrun by the undead, the Rising Sun facility is lost. July 8, 1942. Division 9 begins construction of the island facility. October 9, 1942. With construction complete, Division 9 continues their projects at the island facility. November 5, 1942. Takio was dispatched by the Emperor to oversee the work of Division 9 at the island facility. February 6, 1943. Division 9 expands experimentation to include the use of prisoners of war, Division 9 staff, arachnids, and mystical beasts. June 5, 1943. Takio reports to the Emperor that the work being done at the island facility is unacceptable. June 24, 1943. On the order of the Emperor, Takio was taken prisoner by Division 9. He is used as a test subject for their organic plant-based experiments. September 13, 1945. Cornelia attempts to send a transmission to Peter McCain telling him to rendezvous at the abandoned Rising Sun facility. October 1, 1945. Zetsubo no Shima. Primus secures Takio's soul after they help him commit seppuku. Richthofen takes the crew to Dimension 63 to collect their blood for the insurance policy. They return to the island before traveling to their next destination. October 18, 1945. Peter McCain makes a jump into Shinonuma as a temporal rift opens below him. As a result of Primus's universe fractures, the rift teleports him to Garad Krovi. Agonia Fracture. November 11, 1942. Groff confirms that the Division 9 has completed the resurrection of the ancient beast for the Battle of the Eastern Front. Reports suggest that the specimens are still extremely dangerous, but the German stalemate on the Eastern Front with the Russians will soon come to an end, thanks to their involvement. January 3, 1943. The Russians use stolen Group 935 research to create the Russian Gigant, the Russian Mangler, and the Ray Gun Mark III. February 2, 1943. The Battle of Stalingrad doesn't end. Thanks to the technological advancements on both sides, World War II continues indefinitely. February 3, 1943. Working with Maxis at the Kino facility, Sophia reveals that she was attacked by Subject 26. February 14, 1943. Having learned Sophia was attacked by Subject 26, Maxis kills her and transfers her brain into a machine, the Strategic Operation Planning Heuristic Intelligent Analyzer, Sophia. July 7, 1943. Sophia is transferred to Stalingrad to oversee Group 935's operations. September 2, 1943. Harvey Yena reports the dragons have proven beneficial to the war effort at Stalingrad. September 2nd, 1943. Harvey Yena reports the dragons have proven beneficial to the war effort at Stalingrad. He confirms that Dialog research continues to explore time displacement and movement across dimensions. November 6, 1943. Sophia confirms the existence of Project Rasputin, the Russian Mangler soldier. January 11, 1944. Sophia confirms the Russian Gigant robot has set back the German advance. April 14, 1945. Sophia declares the Battle of Stalingrad is nearing victory for German forces and that the Valkyrie drones have been deployed to locate any resistant strains and to attempt capture. After the release of large concentrations of element 115 by German forces, the city becomes largely populated by the undead. Nikolai and his comrades continue to fight for what remains of Stalingrad. September 2nd, 1945. World War II rages on. Stalingrad has turned into a three-way conflict between Dragon, Machine, and the undead. Without any remaining human survivors, Sophia is now trapped in the city. November 6, 1945. Drifting through space and time in his ethereal form, Gersh arrives in the fracture. November 6, 1945. Garad Krovi. Primus arrives, frees Sophia, and acquires Nikolai's soul. Richthofen teleports the souls of Dempsey, Takio, and Nikolai to Maxis at the house. Monty announces his existence to Primus for the first time. April 25th, 1956. While traveling to Shangri-La, Brock and Gary's plane crashes into the mountains as a result of a freak atmospheric event, another side effect of the temporal rifts created by Primus while traveling to Garad Krovi. November 6, 1963. Hiding in the closet at the Pentagon, McNamara records a message confirming that John F. Kennedy, Richard Nixon, and Fidel Castro have died as a result of the zombie outbreak. He dies moments later. And that concludes the Zombies Chronicles timeline. If you guys did enjoy this little series, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe so that If you guys did enjoy this little series, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe so that you don't miss any future Zombies videos, streams, or anything DLC5 related, and leave a comment down below what you guys thought about this little series. If you guys want me to do something with it, something other than this, something similar to it, like a voiceover, let me know, and I'll see what I can do just to please you guys. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.